Hey guys, another episode of the Trading Vault, and today we've got Ricardo on, and quite looking forward to having him on. Actually, I think it's the second or third week where the schedules haven't been aligned, but this week starting early. And Ricardo, just want you to introduce yourself to the viewers.
I'm Ricardo Sunnos, new in the field, fairly new, 1.5 years in the game, 6 months of blowing, 10 months of being profitable. Yeah, that's my introduction.
And Ricardo, where are you currently based? Where are you from?
Joburg.
Joburg.
I'm in Josie, yeah.
Okay, fresh start. Ricardo, so you've mentioned that you are still fairly new into the industry, and how did you get into trading? Where did things kick off for you?
Say 2 years ago, went to visit my wife's sister, and her husband spoke about trading. Didn't take to it. Well, that was my brother-in-law. Didn't take to it, and a few months later, my brother spoke to me about trading. And yeah, that's when I got into it. But I regretted the day I was introduced to it. I cursed the day I heard about trading, because that thing put me in my mood. Proper. You know? For me, it was a 23/5 casino that I could have at home. You know? And yeah, yo, bro, I learned lessons in this game, because I came into this game with money. So even though I'm new in the industry, I think I've learned lessons, you know, as big as people that's got 5 years in this industry, because of the amount of money that I was gambling with.
Yes, that is unfortunately the thing. Weirdly enough, I also years ago had somebody that I know of, and also very wealthy individual, and he actually started dabbling. Also a big gambler. Usually the guys that have money have some sort of gambling trait, and unfortunately in life sometimes you need to take a gamble to make it big. It's not that all gambles pay off, but sometimes in life there is a gamble that puts you on the map. But anyway, and he started dabbling on trade. Is it 5+500? Very easy to use, very simple, the platform to use. And he started with I think he deposited $1 million, and he was up about 4 or 5 million within, I would say, 2-3 months, trading orange juice and coffee futures. I don't know why he was trading that, but anyway. Yeah, he was just gambling. He didn't really have a clue of what he was doing. And then a few months later, saw him again, and I asked him, how's that account looking? And he actually said, no, it's blown. I think he peaked at around about 7-8 bar and basically blew it to smithereens. So sometimes that side of things, bringing money into it and seeing the potential, and then just continuously throwing money at it's also not a good thing. But like you mentioned, learning lessons within a short space of time that maybe took somebody else 5 years to master, maybe shorten that period to 12 months or 2 years.
True.
If I might ask, did you come from an entrepreneurial background, business?
Let me take you a bit in there. So, grew up with my granny, right? Mother was never around. So, grew up with my granny. She used to work, but she used to earn 30 rand a day in a clothing shop, 150 rand a week. So I used to, you know, things were always hard. Back, you know, where I'm from, you need to, when you were in school, you wear grasshoppers, college pants, Levi shirt, you know, you're styling in school, but that stuff I couldn't get, because why? There was no money at home, you check. So what I started doing was I started taking my taxi fare that my granny used to give me every day. And I started going to the taxi rank. There was a game shop there. And the taxi drivers used to gamble with pool, playing pool, snooker. So I started learning how to play pool, and I became, very good at that shit. Where that was my like my hustle. I used to go every morning, beat the taxi drivers, make money on the pool table, and then I go to school when I feel like, or do what youngsters do. So when I used to that now started, I started seeing I can make money in a hustle. You check, for me, that is a hustle. Went to school. When I was at school, I used to play caller card and check or spin, dice. That was my thing. I was always looking for ways to make money. You check, the hustler came in me from that age, dog. Anyway, Granny passed away. 13, 14, was forced to stay with my mother now. Stayed with my mother, things never go so lacquer for a few months. My mother's cousin's husband, my uncle, he had a welding school. So he picked up, the family, they used to look down on me. So he picked up a story, what he gave me an entry-level welding course for free. My uncle found out, he gave me an entry-level welding course, right? Gave me an entry-level welding course. I was around 16, 17, I think so. I needed to man up in the world because things wasn't lacquer. You check. My granny was my shoulder to lean on, my backbone in this life. And when she went, there was no one. I had my mother's brother. When my granny was still alive, he used to bring us groceries, what, She would drive trucks. But when she passed, all those relationships, split, and it was just me, I went to Secunda, looked for work. While looking for work, there's a place called Cecil there. While looking for work, I had nowhere to stay. So there was a place in Secunda town. Some people who's watching this that know about it might understand what I'm talking about. There's a post office with steps, and then there's a shelter, a roof and door. So in the night, I used to sleep by the post office. I used to walk around in town in the day, get the card boxes. That was my mattress for the night. Put them in a manhole. To beg by garages for money for food and shit like that there. And I used to play pool. There was a place called Las Vegas on the taxi rank. And the taxi drivers used to also play pool there. So that was part of my hustle. If I hustle in a day in a town, I go and make more money there. And I had some money for float. I eventually found a job back to this. Used to sleep by the post office in the morning, get up, put your mattress, card boxes back in a manhole, continue hustling, Anyway, I managed to get a job, but not as a welder. I got a job as a scaffold erector assistant. I got earning 10 Rand 50 an hour. So now life got a bit better now. You check, I'm working, but still no money because you have to work 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and get paid your first salary. So I moved in on the rank in Secunda. There's a place called, it's 2 small buildings, the care and Stekendhuis. You check. Yeah. So I moved into Stekendhuis. That's a place where people from all walks of life, all over South Africa, come to live there on their card boxes and stuff like that there, and find work. And when you find work, obviously, life must start picking up. So we live there. I'm talking about you living with 40, 50 people in one small room, and all walks of life. So you have to be a certain type of way. You check. You can't. I don't want to get into it, but you can't be soft. You understand?
You can't play games.
You can't be. You must sleep one eye open on your back, straight up, you understand? Because you don't know what's happening here around you, check. It's rough. Anyway, worked my first month. While I was working my first month now, while a little bit back, while I was sleeping by the post office, there was a tap. There's a tap by the taxi rank. So that was where I used to bath in the mornings. But I used to go there 3:30 because the taxi start coming in at 4 to, bringing in the first loads. So 3:30, you'd have that tap, hitting the sign of the cross, quick wash. And then you must be out again before the people come, and it's winter, bro. Sakunda's cold. So sometimes in the morning you find ice under the tap. You must break that ice off, open the tap, wait for those drips to come out. Okay, now I got to work now. Moved into the second ice. Now, in the second ice, there was on the taxi rank. This is literally on the taxi rank. There's a place next door called Las Vegas. That's where I used to play pool. On the taxi, while we're working now on the taxi rank, there was a lady called Mama J. There was a whole lot of them there. They used to sell coffee, maguinas, fat cook, polony, you check. So now I was working, this mom's helped me with breakfast every morning until I got paid, you check. So she used to sit by the toilet. She had her own thing there. I'll never forget that woman, bro. I really want to go and visit her one soon day. She gave me food every day, bro, on account. And now I was working, so I could, you find this people called mashonisas on site. They lend you money and things like that. You give them your ID. You check. Now I need to upgrade a little bit. So there was a stadium not so far away, a soccer stadium. That stadium had a shower. So the security used to charge me 5 rand a day to shower. So every night after work, you go, you pay your 5 rand, you shower, you go sleep. Next morning, you're up, brush your teeth, you're out for work. So I had that process. After the first salary, didn't really have money because, accounts, what, borrowing here, borrowing there. The struggle was real coming out of squat. So I had to stay another month. I continued with that life for another month. The second month after pay, I got a job. I got a place, a shack in Mbalenhle in a location. Got a place there, worked, and then I managed to save up for a welding course. That's now, a proper welding course because I had an entry level welding course. I managed to do my organ. Done that, got work, living life, tasting money, got a flat, what. Then I got pulled into the wrong side of life again because along the road, I always ended up on the wrong side of life. Understand? Doing wrong shit. Because it was easier to me. I grew myself up. My granny was always working. So the streets raised me. You check, the streets raised me. So that was my comfort zone. And I found myself back there, left work, left construction, moved to PE. PE, I had my first son at 19. And I don't really want to talk about that life too much because there was another life I led there. Anyway, came back to Durban, met my wife. When I met my wife, around 2021, she met me in the street, still a hustler. Got me out, got me, a little bit focused in life, but I was still who I was. You check. Anyway, got back into work, into construction, started working. But while working, I always found myself doing illegal shit. Sorry for that. I'm just being honest here. I always found myself on the wrong path. While on the right path, always detouring because I always wanted more, man. Whatever I had wasn't enough, man. And another thing, I could never keep a job. I could never keep a job because I used to always move the supervisors or the foremen. I could never take instructions. I'm being 100 with you here, bruh. I'm being 100. The people that's
Yeah.
gonna watch, that's gonna comment and tell you because they know me.
No, I love it. I love it.
I could never fucking keep a job. I was a boss welder. They used to call me a Manjaro on the site. They knew me on the sites, you know. But I could never keep a job because once a supervisor or foreman says something I don't like, I'm mooring him. Then I'm getting fired immediately, going home regretting my decision. It's too late. Look for another job. I got tired of that cycle. So 2015, I said, nah, this is it, man. This is not for me. I'm not a follower. I knew I was never a follower. I left work, I resigned. I spoke to my wife, you know, she backed me up. She said, let's do it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I took that money because I was working for 12 years, but off and on. From the age of 17, I was working in construction off and on. So I had Provident Fund. Took my package, moved to Joburg. This was all in Witbank, my last jobs. Moved to Joburg. I took that money and I went into what I know. You understand? The hustle. I went into the hustle. My brother was living with me. My brother, I grew him up from 16 to 21. You check his teenage life till he became a man. So this can sing, like he can sing. And I opened a record label. When I opened a record label, I used street money to fund his music career. Because I thought if one of us can make it in this life and break that generational curse, for me, I've achieved something before I close my eyes. You check. Okay, pushed. Never work out. My bro got big, you know, found he had other, other vision in his life and things like that. So that was a cancel. And then I came into Forex. When I came into Forex, I had money from the street, from whatever I was doing. I had money. But let me tell you something, Todd. When I say this thing hit me broke, I mean this thing hit me finished, where I was at a point where I didn't even have money to go back and do what I was doing to get money. This thing hit me in, bro, I like bad.
Gebrek.
Finish. This thing finished me. I always tell people today, I got no new old money, my friend. All my money is new money. Forex finished all my old money. That was my school fees. I sold one of, before I sold one of my cars, I stepped back and I started watching the charts. Decided to focus on one index. That's how you see I'm US 30. Decided to focus on one index, and I started seeing secrets in the way price was moving on that index. I created a strategy around that thing. When I created a strategy and I was, checking, okay, price is gonna go there, might get a throwback to it. And it was doing what I was anticipating. After the strategy that I created. I sold my car because I had 3 cars. I had no more money, but I still had 3 cars. I had assets. I sold the 1 car and I funded that money. And I start trading. I start trading according to the strategy and no longer being a gambler, Hey, bro, I start making money, though. I started making money. I gave this course to some people that I knew. My same brother-in-law, the one that first spoke to me about trading, I gave him this course because he had experience in the game. He said, hey, bro, this thing is legit. I can see, I'm seeing the magic here. I'm seeing this thing working. I opened an Instagram account. My first Instagram account I opened now, December. I never had social media before that, never ever. Open Instagram, created a company, Index Hustlers, what, start getting people in, creating competitions. I started giving out the course for free. These people that I was giving a course to for free, they were making money off their shit.
They were selling it,
When I saw
reselling
that,
it.
I saw that, no, this shit is the shit, because you must know, I always undermine myself when it comes to this type of shit, computers and what, because I've only got standard 6. You see, I was expelled in standard 6. So I don't, you know, I'm not clued up with all this type of shit. So I needed people to confirm that, hey, the shit that you created is the shit. It's real. Once that happened, I start selling. I start selling the course. When I start selling the course, that's when I saw, I'm really on something. I'm really on something. And that grew confidence in me, myself, as a trader, to go harder in what I created, which is a strategy, you know. And yes, here I am today, bro. Highly profitable trader, living a life that, yo, for me was a dream, dog. For me was a dream.
I love the story of how, like you mentioned, not old money, new money, and the thing of where, like you've mentioned, you've been down and out, so you know what it's like to have nothing, and you also know the other side of knowing to have money as well. And I think sometimes people pity themselves. Like, I think, and you can maybe expound on that. We'll get back to the trading now. When you were there in Secunda taking a shower at a tap, there must have been days where you thought like, nah, there's must be something better than this, where you maybe want to give up, and then you just realize again, like, nobody's gonna stretch their hand out
straight up, my man,
to Ricardo. And I think sometimes in life, and this is now real talk for the listeners, sometimes in life, don't expect anyone to put out their hand to pick you up. It's only you yourself that need to pick yourself up. And also maybe you'll see now what Ricardo mentioned. He gave out that strategy for free, and he was actually now stretching his hand out to other people, where somebody else wouldn't have stretched their hand out to you. You hear what I'm saying? So a lot of times in life, and this is something that it's a core principle or value that I basically see the world as, is I always say, be a bridge for the next guy. Don't cross a bridge.
Do for others what wasn't done for you, what you wanted to be done for you.
That's why I always say, if you do something, always be that bridge for someone else. Like, I've helped people as well, and then a guy asked, no, but can I give you money for it? And I said, no, don't give me anything. Just the next time, if you've got the ability to help somebody else and you are in a position to help, pay it forward. Be that bridge. And this is not just to do with money. This is to do with, in general, life. Like, even like the racial thing, where I always say, we as individuals, black, white, colored, whatever, we need to be a bridge that unites people and not divide people. And once we start to realize that you can be a bridge between different nationalities, between different parts of life, then that is when life starts to make sense. It's not always about just getting to the destination, but it's about how many people can you pull with you to that destination.
That's true. The thing, there was a lot of times, bro, where I want to give up, but give up to what? To go where? Back to family, asking for help, being treated like a dog. And that thing of sympathy, standing, looking for sympathy in your current situation,
makes you weak.
My man, that's a waste of your life. If you don't get up and do something, you know, about your situation, you're never gonna move forward in this life. And I was a type of person that I used my family, their hatefulness, not helping me. I always use shit like that as motivation. And I said, I'm a shoulders mother. You understand? I'm a shoulders mother. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I used to do things to throw it in your face. Make myself something to show you. I'm self-made. I did this without you. You see? And that, bro, that carried me in every situation in life, dog. I used every downfall, every hurt, every pain as motivation. You check, I made it a strength in myself.
On that, you mentioned obviously only trading indices. Was there any stage in your trading where you looked up to a mentor or somebody, or was it purely that you went to sit down and say, okay, Flip,
yeah,
I'm gonna figure this?
I looked up to a lot of mentors, but soon found out they're all scammers. They can't actually trade.
True.
People are living off clients nowadays. You know, I'm just being real here, dog. I looked up to a lot of people in the industry. But when it came down to it, people sat in my trading room and I just saw blowing. You understand? So for me, I lost all respect. And then it came down to a point where I was buying people's courses before I created my own strategy. And when I was going, I bought everyone's courses. Everyone you all think is big traders, I bought their courses. Went through their courses and found out all that shit was things I learned that's on YouTube. Everything in these courses is what's on YouTube. People will teach you everything that's on YouTube, but don't teach you how to apply that into a strategy, you know, and be consistent on the chart. You can give me books of information, but without the key points of each book to show me how to use that information, it's useless.
Correct. So
and that's what I did.
You've got all of these loose ends, but you don't know how to put the dots together.
How to implement it into one that, you know, that's going to be work. So that's what I did. I looked at all the flaws in all the courses and I created something of my own, simplicity. I just teach people how to actually make money. Finish. End of story. End of story. All the little nutty, go to YouTube.
With you saying that, I think you would also, now that you've gone through a lot of material and stuff, you would have seen that it's actually the simple stuff that everyone overlooks that makes the money.
Yes, sir.
It's like,
yes,
I actually posted on Twitter as well this morning, just showing a simple chart of Euro USD, and I said, look how simple it actually was this entire year to trade Euro USD, but we tend to try and jump through hoops and we want to have something fancy, or it can't be that simple, or this or that, but it's...
People complicate this thing. They complicate. Trading is simple. The psychology to trading is the hard part.
Yes.
But actual trading, analyzing the chart, knowing where price is heading, knowing where it's going to retrace to, bro, that's preschool. You understand? The psychology to trading is where now you start getting technical. That's where you need a mentor, you know? But the actual analysis of a chart, come on, bro. People just, I don't know, they try to look intelligent or sound intelligent. These YouTube simple videos, and it don't make sense, man.
Listen, Ricardo, I see you guys. Unfortunately, I only saw now that you guys were in Port Elizabeth. I would have loved to take you and a team out for a lunch or a dinner, but
oh, you stay outside?
I'm in Port Elizabeth, yes.
Okay,
I've been in Port Elizabeth for, I would say, the better part of 19 years. I actually come from...
So you know PE, well, I stayed in Shorterville.
Yeah, I know it's Shorterville.
You know where Shorterville? Yeah, so then you know why when I say...
Yes, no.
That's a part of life I don't want to talk about. You understand?
Yeah, no, so I'll chat to you. I'll take Ricardo and his team out for a lunch when they're back here, or even just Ricardo. But this is what it's about, guys. This is the real facts about life. It's not a dream that's being sold. I appreciate the story, Ricardo, telling the truth from the bottom up. And I really hope that guys can find motivation in that somebody like Ricardo, that didn't have it easy, that didn't come from money, they didn't have a backup, they didn't have somebody to say, oh, look, Ricardo, you can fall back on this or fall back on that, where it was literally, your back is against the wall, there's only one way to get out, and that's forward. So I really want you guys to find encouragement. Be sure to check out Ricardo's Instagram page. We'll also have his links in the bio. I'm also going to make contact with Ricardo, because this is actually an awesome story, and these are life lessons where you can learn from someone else that has been on another side of life that you maybe haven't been. And it's always that thing of, what can you take from one another? Where can you support one another? And where can you build one another up? So, Ricardo, really, really appreciate this podcast. We'll also look at having you on again, where myself and you can maybe just jump through a few charts. We can show the guys a few things on the charts. But again, thank you so much. Thank you for taking out your time. I really enjoyed it, guys. This was really awesome to have something real on, some real life talk, and again, seeing the success from the ground up, showing what is possible. So really appreciate it, Ricardo. Any closing comments that you want to make, or any motivation for guys out there that's maybe struggling, or that's maybe finding themselves in a similar situation that you found yourself in years ago?
Much respect for everything you said, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, to people coming new in this game, this is not a get rich quick thing. This thing will end you. The little bit you have that you think, you can make yourself someone, you lose that too. Forex is about chasing the skill. Once you've acquired a skill, and you consistently with small accounts, go trade micro, Don't ever trade demo. I don't do that shit. Go trade micro. Once you're consistent on that small account, then you can start looking for money to invest, because look at this thing as a business, not just a get rich quick thing. So if you open a business, you need capital to invest. You invest, you go find sources of getting proper money, invest and make money on that money. You don't want to put 1,000 rand and want to make 1,000,000 rand. You can't do that in the everyday life. So if you look at Forex like a business, you will be successful. Make sure you acquire the skill first. Once you acquire the skill, you find consistency. After you find consistency, you find money, capital to invest in yourself as a business, the business. Once you invest in yourself, you apply your skill, your consistency, and you'll be like me one day. Easy like that.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate having Ricardo on, and be sure to like and subscribe, and go and check out Ricardo on Instagram. Thanks so much, Ricardo.
Respect, bro.